Hello and welcome to Bolt Action Reloading. In today's video we'll be discussing what velocity we were able to hit as well as the groups that we were able to achieve with Hogdgon Superformance loaded behind the 110 grain Sierra Match King in our 6mm Creedmoor Ruger precision rifle. Stick around. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here and you'd like to see how I and the rest of me here make our group smaller, start now by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon. That way you'll get notified when I post new videos and you won't miss anything. Guys, in today's video we're obviously talking about Hornady Superformance as well as the 110 grain Sierra Match King. Now Superformance might seem an odd choice at the beginning, however if you look at Sierra's load data, you're going to see that Superformance is actually giving us the highest projected velocity with this projectile, that being 3,100 feet per second. In case you're not familiar, Superformance is a ball powder and therefore probably a little bit more sensitive to temperature than some of the other powders that we might choose, like H4350. However, I figure we might as well give it a whirl, see what velocity we're actually able to achieve in our rifle, and see exactly what we could get without pushing our pressures too high. In case you guys haven't been following the series yet, I'll put a shot on the screen. This is our 6mm Creedmoor Ruger Precision Rifle Gen 2. If you're interested in more details on the rifle, I'll put it in the description box below, but this is our test platform for today. All that out of the way, let's just get into our load details. Like I said, this is a 110 grain Sierra Match King, part number 1575. The brass we're using for today is obviously Lapua brass. The first firing on this, so during today's test, we are fire forming the brass. The primer for today is a CCI 41 small military rifle primer. I've had really good luck with this in the past, and that's why we're using it now. The powder for today is Superformance. We're loading from 44 grains all the way to 45.2 grains. Again, hoping to achieve that 3,100 feet per second velocity. The cartridge overall length that we'll be loading to is 2.870 inches. This is slightly tighter than the load data given by Sierra, but we did want to try and make sure we could run these in our magazine, which the magazine I was trying to run these out of is the Magpul AICS, which will allow us to 2.880. I did want to warn you guys, there is a slight oops in today's data. I'm not perfect, probably should shock no one, but when I was loading my rounds, when I was getting my overall length figured out, I accidentally left the 44 grain charge 10 thousandths longer than the other charge, and therefore this bullet is so close to lands at this point that we actually had those bullets in the lands. So you're going to see that the velocity for our 44 grain charge is going to be higher than expected simply because of that fact. We still didn't see any pressure signs that made us nervous. But however, when I got to the range, I did notice that I couldn't fit them in the magazine, and then I remembered that I'd forgotten to go back and reseat that last step because basically what I had done is loaded all 5 of mine, gotten the measurement that I needed, and then corrected it going forward for the 44.3 charge and going forward. I failed to go back and actually make sure that the 44 grain charge had been reseated that 10 thousandths longer. One other thing before we get into our data as well is this barrel had cooled off a significant amount before the first shot of the string had fired, and I do think that that affected the first shot velocity. So, moving right into our load data, at 44 grains, our estimated velocity would have been 3014 feet per second. If you want to count the actual first shot, which the cold board shot was actually 3056 feet per second, so the average velocity of our string would have been 3039. If you remove that shot, our actual velocity would fall to 3033. The standard deviation would fall from 9.6 to 2.2, and the extreme spread would have also fallen from 24 to 5. The group size is 1.029 MOA, and my video camera battery had died by this time, so I cannot tell you which shot of the string opened our group up the most. At 44.3 grains, our estimated velocity went to 3036. You'll notice that our actual velocity dropped to 3022, standard deviation of 8.9, extreme spread of 23, and a 0.948 MOA group. At 44.6 grains, our estimated velocity went to 3057. We actually hit 3044. Standard deviation was 8.6, extreme spread of 22, and a 0.602 MOA group. At 44.9 grains, our estimated velocity crept up to 3079. Actual achieved velocity was 3066, standard deviation of 8.1, extreme spread of 21, and a 4-shot group of 0.247 MOA, and a 5-shot group of 0.921 MOA. At our max charge of 45.2 grains, our estimated velocity, hoping to achieve 3,100 feet per second, we actually achieved 3092 feet per second, standard deviation of 8.5, extreme spread of 23, and a 1.052 MOA group. Now, if you're one of those guys that notices everything we put on, you saw that I put the shooting conditions on there. The actual shooting conditions for today was 49 degrees Fahrenheit, 66% relative humidity, 28.87 inches of mercury, and a density altitude of 639 feet. Like we said, guys, probably what a little bit had to do with that temperature being a little bit low today, being at 49 degrees. Probably why our velocity did not actually hit our target. Had we been on a slightly warmer day, it's highly likely that that top charge would have hit right on that 3,100 feet per second estimate that Sierra provided us. 39.2 is certainly not that far off, so we can't complain a whole lot. I'll put our chart from the 6.5 guys on the screen. Obviously, you'll notice, like I said, that first group being in the lands increased our velocity artificially. Looking at the chart, you can see that that first shot being way off the group and otherwise would have been certainly our best standard deviation of the day. That being said, we really didn't see any nodes here, at least on the graph. I don't know what you guys have been able to achieve, but my history of Superformance has been somewhere around here. Seeing extreme spreads in the low 20s, really not a big shocker, though we did have single-digit standard deviations. Certainly if we were going to take this out to distance, we'd rather have that be a little bit lower. Certainly with other powders, we've been able to achieve better statistics than this. And unless something other strikes me funny, I'm not sure that we're going to be testing this powder again. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but losing 50 feet per second and being able to actually keep our extreme spread in the teens would be a much better option in my opinion. But to each and to his own. Nothing else really interesting in the chart to me today, but you guys can look at it to your heart's content and tell me what you think in the comments section below. Guys, like we do in every video, I'll put a shot of the brass on the screen. You guys can check it out. You'll see pretty much like we expected so far. We're staying within our load data. We really don't see any pressure signs at all to be nervous about. You'll see even on that max charge, we really didn't even have any faint ejector marks on the brass whatsoever. I think everything we shot today was certainly in the realm of safe charge weights. But like I said, if this was a different temperature day, we certainly might have seen different velocities and our pressure signs might have been different as well. As always, draw your own conclusions. And like I alluded to before, guys, I can't tell you we're going to see any shooting today simply because when I was out the range, my battery for the day had already died, so I didn't get any footage of that. So if you were hoping for that, I apologize. I'm trying to do better in the future, but this is what I have for today. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I don't really have anything to complain about Superformance, but in the past, I certainly haven't been able to get those real low extreme spread numbers that we're hoping for. Not that the low 20s is bad, just hoping for something a little bit better. If you have any secrets to that or what you guys have changed or what you guys have done, I would certainly be interested if you've been able to achieve better statistics with this powder. Even if you guys aren't going to load the 110 grain Sierra Match King behind Hogdgon Superformance, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any comments or questions, please post those in the comment section below. If you like the content and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn the bell notification on so you can catch next week's video, and until then, stay safe in small groups.